Why I wrote this book. This book is the result of two very energetic and synergetic aspects. The first is an off-grid, independent, and healthy lifestyle, thriving in nature, and the healing that comes with it. I want to share with you just how easy life can be when you stop making it complicated and start making decisions that lead to a simpler, radically different, and blissful lifestyle. And you can do this right now. You don't have to believe in any dogma or philosophy to make this work for you. It just works by choice. Wait a minute, you say. It isn't that easy. Well, you're right. Sometimes it isn't that easy. Life gets complicated over the years, and that's why I've also written about a special detox that I went through to help simplify things. By a specific process of fasting, I eliminated several bad habits and found myself rejuvenated and simplified. The second aspect of this book concerns two people visiting a couple of their favorite places on the Big Island of Hawaii, with a unique commentary that hopefully will get you lost, like us in the village of Volcano, on the active volcano known as Kilauea. Travel with me and my experience what I call a healing fast trip. There are many stories of miraculous healings at sacred and not so sacred spots on the island. I'll share my own particular method in detail and share what happened to me at one of these sacred spots. On the one hand, this is an informative travel book that you can just read to vicariously experience island life. Perhaps you'll be inspired enough to come to Hawaii and follow our trail, if you can. Or you can take this as testimonial evidence that Hawaii does have some healing powers. Perhaps you'll be inspired enough to take on a fast or a special diet at home and apply the principles in this book to your own lifestyle. Whatever you choose, the story here is true, and it's meant to be enjoyed, to be experienced, and to light up your imagination. I wrote this book for seekers of truth, whether that truth be simply a desire to read a real-life travel story or to discover the authentic inner experience one feels in exploring beautiful places. The whole object of travel is not to set foot on foreign land. It is at last to set foot on one's own country as a foreign land. G.K. Chesterton. There's a story about the Kilauea Iki caldera, Little Kilauea. In 1959, the volcano, not at all surprisingly, being a volcano, continuously spewed a record-breaking 200-foot-high fountain of lava for an entire month. It erupted during November and December of that year, and since that spectacular event, the volcano has attracted over 1 million visitors annually. We walked along the powerfully lush rainforest path, surrounded by the telephone pole-like Ohia Lahua flowering evergreen trees, which grow directly and ever so slowly out of the basalt. If you are still in quiet among these majestic pillars, you may hear the apapane birds chirping their little red heads off. When they're not singing, they're sucking nectar as fast as they can get it out of the ohia's strange bright red and yellow flowers. The Hawaiians have an origin myth for the ohia tree and the lahua blossom. It's said that long ago, a small village in the rainforest was celebrating. Beside the central fire sat a handsome and famously athletic young warrior named Ohia. He was talking with a village elder when he noticed, on the other side of the fire, Lahua. Lahua's beauty was second to none in all of the islands, and her sweet, gentle spirit was legendary. Her eyes met Ohia's through the fire, and they were unable to tear their gazes away from each other. Then she blushed when she noticed that Ohia was speaking with her father. Lahua's father nudged Ohia to remind him of the conversation they were having, but Ohia was entranced with the young maiden. He apologized, stuttering when he figured out that he was speaking to the young woman's father. Mercifully, Lahua's father was amused by the apology and was already fond of the young warrior, so he offered to introduce the two. Ohia jumped at the chance and almost tripped over his own feet in his haste to meet Lahua on the other side of the fire. From that moment, the two only had eyes for each other. Lahua was courted by the passionate Ohia, and he quickly won her heart. Ohia built a home for his young bride where they lived for several months. One day, Ohia was hard at work when Pele, the goddess of the volcano, spied the handsome young man and determined to have him for her own. Pele disguised herself as a beautiful young woman with long, dark hair flowing over her shoulders in waves, like black lava. Ohia greeted her as she approached, but refused her advances, steadfast in his love for Lehua. Pele, notoriously short-tempered, revealed her true identity to Ohia and continued her advances. But Ohia rejected her again and insisted that he had already given his heart to his young bride. Pele was furious, and in her rage, she transformed Ohia into a twisted, ugly tree. Lehua, who witnessed the terrible transformation, begged Pele to change him back again. Pele ignored the pleas, and satisfied with her revenge, she ascended to the high hills, leaving Lehua behind, weeping at the base of the withered tree, the Ohia tree. The gods had seen what Pele had done, and they became angry with her. They tried to change Ohia back, but failed. Pele's curse was just too strong. So, they changed Lehua into a beautiful red flower and placed her on top of the twisted tree, so that she and her lover would never be apart. Ever since, the Ohia tree has blossomed with the beautiful red and yellow Lehua flowers. And while these flowers remain on the tree, the sun continues to shine and the day stays fair. However, if the flowers are picked, rain falls like tears, the tears of Lehua, yearning to be reunited with her husband. Think twice before you go plucking a flower from the Ohia Lehua tree. Back on the path, in addition to the Ohia trees, ferns known as Hapu'u Pulu flourish. Distinguished by their 3 feather-like divisions, a similar variety is found growing on the crater floor. Conveniently located next to the path, you'll notice huge boulders that must have been knocked loose from above during the big earthquakes in 1975 and 1983. The trail hugs the Kilauea Iki Caldera Rim, with breathtaking views of the crater floor hundreds of feet below, contrasting with the thick greenery all around. Sometimes a small path branches off to a viewing area with a guardrail, or with no guardrail and a steep, almost vertical drop-off. You don't want to venture too close to that edge, right? Well, I was close enough for that feeling of fear to tickle my gut, and then that stupid desire to jump arrived in my mind.